let's get into another classic, JP and the Beans, top 5. Today's top 5 will be our top 5 magic users in comics. Now, quick caveat here. I'm going to approach this very much in a personal way. And what I mean by that is these are going to be the top 5 characters that I have enjoyed the most, whether it be in the comics or in the films or a little bit of both. Truly that. Like I'm not presenting a top 5 most powerful most formidable. This is who I've enjoyed the most so far in my comic character loving life.
This is how I approached it.
That's great.
I always interpret it as we're going to pick our favorites. I don't care about a power trip because look, then we talk about other characters and it's just like,
Yeah. Real quick, I just have to say before we get into this, how the heck are there so many doctors
it's
that
annoying.
get involved with magic?
It's really annoying because it shouldn't.
Elaine,
it shouldn't
either be a wizard or a doctor. You don't get to be both.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
It's fair. These are all fair
today.
criticisms.
I'm sorry.
No,
okay.
you're good.
All right. Beans, without further ado, you go first.
My number 5, out of just respect, I got Doctor Strange at 5. I know we just pooped on him a lot. Like, we crapped all over his movies. But
really took a trip to negative.
He's solid. Because usually, and again, we talked about Infinity War doing a very good job of this. When he hits the screen, you're like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
We're getting a powerhouse.
Yep.
And he does it very, very well in that movie specifically, but in the comics as well. When Doctor Strange hits, you're like, oh, like we actually have a legitimate problem here because if the Sorcerer Supreme has to step in and take care of business here, where are we going with this? So I know I gave him a lot of crap for all the random weird names that he has for his spells and stuff, but visually in the comics, also very fun to see, right? When it's done well, awesome. I've always loved the way that he does his magic, and I think that's probably partially why the movie doesn't hit as hard for me.
Yeah.
Because it feels like
too much of a governor on...
Well, it just feels like such a different thing that's happening, right? Yeah. So, give me Doctor Strange at 5.
Yep.
I also find it very intriguing when he loses the title of Sorcerer Supreme to just go earn it back. He's almost more fun chasing the title
that's fair.
than actually getting the title. Yeah. Very wrestling opinion of me, but that's just like, I don't know. There's sometimes he loses it. Like he lost it to Doom recently.
I mean, he loses it more than any other character loses their mantle, right? Like Tony Stark doesn't lose Iron Man as often.
No.
Right? T'Challa doesn't lose Black Panther as often.
And he's still Doctor Strange. He's just
no
longer
the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah,
it's a fun little nod there.
He's my number 5.
He's also my number 5. Like I enjoy him for all the time in Negative Town that we spent. I do enjoy his character in the movies. Like my qualms with him in the movies is very small, right? It's the humor piece that feels a little forced, but otherwise I enjoy watching Benedict Cumberbatch portray him in the movies. And in the comics, one of my favorite comic series of panels is in World War Hulk, when Hulk comes back from his exile looking to wreak high holy havoc on the Illuminati, of which Doctor Strange is a member. And Doctor Strange does indeed channel the dark dimension and powers up in a big way to take Hulk down. Except it doesn't quite work. Tough.
He gets beaten in astral form, by the way.
His astral form gets annihilated. And then the real physical form also gets thrashed a wee bit. But it's a really great scene. And he, in the most recent, like Jonathan Hickman Avengers, I say most recent, it's been about 10 years now for Hickman as well. He has a great role to play in the lead up to Secret Wars. His role in that Secret Wars comic is great. He's essentially Doctor Doom's consigliere, which is a fun twist, right?
Yeah.
That's really neat. That's a really neat, like, in these, like, what ultimately ends up being an alternate universe kind of take, except it's the Prime universe. So it's a fun dynamic to see. That was a really neat twist. Sorry, spoilers in that particular comic.
Yeah. It's a tough, like, knockdown for Strange.
It is.
He had the opportunity to be in Doom's spot.
That's right.
And he's like, no.
And Doom doesn't let him forget it either. He's like, you could have been here. You could have been here. You could have been here.
I'm going to overthrow you as soon as I get the opportunity to.
It's super fun. So Doctor Strange is also my number 5. My number 4 is Scarlet Witch. If you had asked me this same question not that long ago, there's no way she would have been on this list. But House of M is an iconic storyline with good reason. What I enjoy the most about her character, and it plays out so strongly in the comics in that storyline, is her chaos magic. And just as the name would suggest, it's completely flippin' chaotic. Like, she barely has control over it. And then there's more often than not where she just flat out doesn't. But the absolute chaos that ensues, that it inflicts, it's like the most irresponsible brand of magic that there is. And as a viewer who doesn't actually have to live in the consequences of her actions, it's wildly entertaining to observe, right? They also did a tremendous job with her character. If you want to cycle all the way back, circa 2020, with the Scarlet Witch and Vision show. Was that the title of the show? I'm just drawing a huge blank. Thank you, WandaVision. Wow, that was a mental fart. That show was great, more than anything else, for her character. Like, getting to see even more of her origin and the overall development of the character was tremendous. I enjoyed the heck out of that. Boy, she's been through a lot in those movies. That's tough.
And in the comics.
And in the comics, as it turns out.
You wonder why she's not stable.
Hard to figure. Yep. So
her dad is Magneto, so that might not help either.
Can't really be a good thing. So Scarlet Witch is my number 4.
Okay. My number 4, let me look at my notes here.
Mm-hmm.
The DC equivalent of Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate, at number 4. And what really wins me over with Dr. Fate is probably Black Adam.
Ooh,
getting to see him in that movie, right? Not, again, talk about mediocre movie.
Not a good movie.
No, it's a meh movie. But Dr. Fate, when he shows up, like, he is the end-all, be-all.
Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate was way too much fun.
What a cool pull.
It was.
Like, underrated casting. Like, did he die in that?
Yes. You know what we should do as a top 5 that'd be fun? Like, top 5 best castings in bad movies.
Oh, yeah.
In comics. That'd be a blast.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Okay.
So, and again, it goes along the same lines as Doctor Strange. Yeah. When Fate enters the premise, crap's about to go down.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And I think he's more compelling than Doctor Strange because he's completely at the mercy of the helmet.
Sure.
And we've seen 9 different people probably have the helmet. I couldn't even tell you who has the helmet right now or who's had it in the past.
Yeah.
It's always flexing.
Right.
And they never agree. And they're not always necessarily picking the good for the person. They're picking the good for what they deem good. Yeah. So I always have found that character far more interesting. And just, So he's my number 4.
That's a great number 4. Your number 3.
My number 3. Oh, man. I left a guy off, but that's okay. Number 3.
It is okay. That used to happen a lot more frequently.
It did. It did. We'll get into it after the list on who I forgot. Number 3, I have Etrigan.
Ooh.
I have Etrigan the Demon. Just because, and I've seen him in very little things.
Yeah.
But when I see him, is he ridiculous a little bit? Yes.
A little.
Like the rhyming, but weirdly it works. Yes. It does weirdly work. And when he shows up, you're like, that dude's a monster. I would love to watch him fight for like 25 minutes. And we still haven't seen him in the actual, like...
Give him a live action.
Anything.
Yep.
But he's such a phenomenal character.
Correct.
And Jason Blood's lived forever, has he not? Because he's attached to Etrigan. So it's just, their dynamic is also very interesting. I love DC's take on magic just because there are always consequences.
Yep.
Always consequences.
Yep.
And that is such a big consequence for Jason Blood.
Yeah.
Right? He's switching places with Etrigan. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he goes to hell during that point in time, correct? That's tough. That's a sacrifice.
Yep.
Right? And I don't think immortality makes up for it.
No, not so much.
So it's always fun to see Etrigan hit the big screen, not the big screen, but the comic book page.
Yeah, whenever he gets included, it's a plus. Never a subtraction.
Also, what a wild pull for a magic guy. That's not somebody you're looking at like magic.
Right.
So he just provides a very different outlet for said magic.
Totally agree.
So Etrigan's my number 3.
It's great number 3. My number 3 is Doctor Doom. Just haven't seen the reason he's at the number 3 spot just in terms of enjoyment for me. I've loved him in the comics. Like wherever he has been, he is a force, right? He's just an absolute black hole level of forcefulness. Like he cannot be a part of the story and not just have this exceptional gravity where he is impacting everybody else that's within his orbit at that point. So he's tremendous in the comics. We just haven't gotten a great live action version of Doctor Doom yet. Maybe we'll get that, but we won't even know until we see a trailer. I'm whining again. I'm sorry. But in the comics, his dynamic with the Fantastic Four is most tremendous. The culmination of that whole story that, again, culminated, double dip in there, in Secret Wars was an absolute treat, right? That was so much stinking fun to see Doctor Doom at the top, and with good reason. Like he earned that spot. He's just that villain that you can't kill, but you also don't want to see killed, right? You're like, yeah, let's get more of that guy, please. More.
Only villain that when he wins, the Earth is at peace.
It's true.
Think about that.
True. Yeah. He's not a chaotic villain. He's very much a controlled villain. Doesn't mean you want him to be in control, but he's not about the chaos. You're gonna know what the law of the land is. Whether or not it's good is another question, but yeah, he's very much in control. So for me, Doctor Doom is number 3. My number 2, this is a little bit of a surprising one even for me, but when I, again, put this through the prism of enjoyment, Shazam is at number 2.
Wow.
For me.
Good pull.
Right? So this goes back a little bit. So go back to really young Jordan, 10, 11, 12. I latched onto a collection of what at the time was called Captain Marvel, okay? Because until DC and Marvel tussled over the Captain Marvel naming rights, that's what Shazam's character was called, was Captain Marvel. And those original comics, as he's battling Dr. Savannah and the Dr. Savannah's family, and just the story of Billy Batson as an orphan, he links up with Freddy and with Mary, and they encounter Shazam the Wizard, just hooked me. I thought it was absolutely fascinating. And then fast forward, the Shazam character actually had a pretty fun time in the New 52 run. Okay. They really leaned into the boyish nature of Billy Batson. Interestingly enough, Shazam as a character has a really key role to play in the Kingdom Come story from back in the early 2000s that Alex Ross wrote that. But then the feature films, the first one I really, really loved. The second one was not a great movie, but I still enjoyed the character. I loved the expansion of the Shazam family. I loved the heart behind Found Family in that first movie in particular. And Zachary Levi brought such great energy to the role that I find myself saying, hey, Shazam's my number 2 as far as magic wielding characters that I enjoy or have enjoyed the most.
Fair.
So there you go.
My number 2 is Doctor Doom.
There you go.
Doom is my number 2.
Yep.
I think magic adds so much to his character because it goes to show that Doom will do anything he needs to do, learn anything he needs to learn to be the most powerful being on planet Earth. Right? I also think it gives him the edge to Mr. Fantastic because he knows Mr. Fantastic is smarter than him.
Yep.
So what's something that Reed can't do? It's magic. That puts him over the edge, right? We've seen him use magic to turn Ben against him because he's like, I can cure you of your rock problem. Right. And you can be normal again. And that's worked for a little bit before.
Yeah.
And I already brought up the other piece with Doom, just with Earth being at peace when he's in charge.
Yeah.
Right? It works out to an extent. I just think Doctor Doom as a whole is a very fascinating character. And I think he knew magic even before he made himself a doctor. And like when he was, I think that's part of his origin is magic. So it's followed him throughout the whole thing. So to me, it just adds such an interesting facet to his complexity as a villain.
Right.
So, and I know he was just Sorcerer Supreme for a little bit in the comics, which I think is fun and hilarious for him to be because he's rubbing that in Strange's face that he stole it from him. So
not very subtle.
No. So I've got Doom at 2. Doom is like top 3 villain for me all time. 100%. So
he's great. Your number 1, sir.
My number 1, this might surprise you. I don't know. I have Constantine at number 1.
Okay. No, I didn't see that coming.
Because
good for you.
what I said earlier about DC, there's always consequences to one's actions. Constantine always manages to get out of his own consequences.
That's true.
By compacting it on with other promises and consequences
that will come due.
Yes.
Yeah.
He always just finds a way to put the bill on somebody else. It is always genuinely entertaining when Constantine comes on the screen or in the book.
Yep.
Right? I enjoyed him in the Injustice series as well because he wanted to stay out of it for as long as possible, and then he has to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Then, instead of helping finish it off,
Right.
he finds his point of being like, okay, I'm done. And he escapes with the goal that he had being accomplished.
Yep.
So I've always enjoyed Constantine because he's a character that's always looking out for himself.
Yep.
Not a true hero, not a true villain either,
Yep.
right? Because he still lives in the world. He wants it to be alive, right? But it's just, he's a very fun wild card to have. And when you add a magic user to the wild card slot, sky's the limit, in all honesty. So I've got Constantine at 1.
It's a great number 1. He's such a weird comic character, but it works constantly. And he's one of those characters where the tone of his persona has been so consistent, so steady throughout. And it's something I appreciate is that different authors will come in and they don't mess with it. They're like, this is just who Constantine is. And it says something about the strength of his character that they can just live in that space and not feel like they have to mess with it.
Agreed.
It's great. My number 1 is Loki. This has a lot to do with the Loki show. Okay, that for me was phenomenal. But even before then, in the movies, the progression of that character was absolutely tremendous. Extremely worthwhile. The show somehow found a new depth that I didn't think was possible. The world building that it did was great, but just for that character, the progression that he went through, the willingness that he demonstrated to sacrifice. I mean, I remember in the second season in particular, as we're getting into the final stages of Loki trying to solve the problem of the entire universe imploding and the number of years that it costs him to try and effort and re-effort to save the universe is incredible. Now, in the comics, he's a tremendous foil for Thor. And one of my favorite elements of his character as a villain is that he's never trying to just go mano-a-mano with Thor. He knows that magic is his best move. He knows that his cleverness is his other best move. And he's always using that to think and plan one step ahead and to deceive and mislead others. So many other beings, right, and characters in comics use magic as a blunt object. Loki is always using it as a getting around, never on a straight line, always getting around, bending, bobbing, and weaving. And he's ahead of everybody. He's not just ahead of Thor, he's ahead of everybody else. It's wild. That makes, for me, Loki number 1.
Yeah, our number 1s are very similar.
They are.
In that route. I did not have Loki on here, and I think it's just because I look at all the other people that I have, I lean towards the powerhouses.
Yes.
I just do.
Yes.
And Loki is very much, I just look at him like, oh, he's illusions for the most part. So he uses a different kind of magic
100%.
that works super well for him.
Yep.
And it's just, I guess for me,
very different style.
Yes. And that style, I guess I just do not connect with as well. Loki, phenomenal character.
Totally.